Hi, Kathy here with Kathy's Cute Creations. Today we're going to start on our Christmas mystery quilt, which is the Winter Flurries. So hopefully you've got that all cut out. This is what it looks like on your first week. Now here's all the fabric cut out. And then in my video when I was telling you about I called it a triangle, but it was a square. Here's that fabric I was talking to you about. This is what I was one short of. So I went ahead and I cut some of these out. I think it's going to work. If not, I'll just get another fabric altogether. So I wanted to show you real quick what Santa got me. And those are things to hold my rulers in that I use most often. A lot of times I don't even get the ruler I want to use because I don't want to get in the drawer to get it. Sorry, I'm out of breath. I just ran downstairs to grab something real quick and came back up. So now let's get started on this quilt. So the very first thing it says for step one is we're going to take our G square and two of our M triangles. I'll probably have to put the iron on it. That's the G. These are the triangles for the M. I'm going to take this, and this is white on white, so pay attention to it so you don't put the wrong side. You're going to fold it in half, just like this, because you're trying to get the middle there. And then just fold this in fourths, because we want to get the middle there, the middle here, each end. Okay, and then you're just going to match up. And here's where your pins are going to come in handy. Repin it. And then you're going to be sewing each end. Put yourself a brand new bobbin in. If you have not cleaned out your bobbin area, go ahead and do that before you start on this quilt. I went ahead and I folded all my little pieces here so they've all got the little creases in them. Oh, I wanted to tell you also, so I dropped this little cushion thing here on the floor, and when I did it, not a pin fell out of it, but when it hit the floor, all the pins that touched the floor actually bent. That's how strong this held the pins in. Now I'm going to do each side. That's the way it's going to look. I'm going to do the right and the left. There's not much to this week one. Let's hold this in here. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to iron these open, so they'll lay flat when I put the next piece on there. Uh-oh. Alrighty, I just realized I sewed this one on incorrectly. I'll tell you what, I better double check these now that I've done that. See, there's the problem. I did it backwards. Instead of coming towards the two good sides when you do that, I went towards the wrong side of the fabric. Oh my gosh, here we go. Well, hopefully you didn't do this like me. Now we're going to iron it as correct. Now keep in mind that when you fold this, you're going to lose your crease. So if you want, just go ahead and put a little mark. This is just chalk. And mark it, since this is a dark fabric. If you're using a light one, you can put a pencil. Doesn't make any difference. And just mark it. And then you can turn around and iron it all you want. You're not going to lose it. Okay, so now I'm going to really make sure I got the right fabric meeting each other, so I don't make another mistake like I did before. Make sure that your seam is really nice and folded there. That's where I'm going to put my pen, right here on that seam. And actually, I'm going to come as far to the right on my fabric here because my needle has to catch it in the corner. I don't want it to catch my pen. I pulled out on the right-hand side fabric here before I put my pen in, because it's kind of like, if you can look at it, it's like folding in on itself. Even though I've ironed it, it doesn't make any difference. And sometimes that's what'll happen. And I've noticed when I watch some of my videos back, it sounds like I've been eating, but I don't eat up here in the sewing room. Ever since I had mice one time, because of rice that I had used as a filler, then I don't do any kind of eating. I will bring my drink up here, water, whatever, but that's it. Okay, so that's looking good. Now we'll go ahead and we'll sew that. Let's see here. I'll try to find my end. About there, I think. There we go. Take that pin out. Now I'm pulling a little bit on this just to hold it so that it's straight. Otherwise, I'm afraid it might get a little bit of a bump in it. Just to hold it a little bit. There we go. And that's the end of that. Let's take a look at that end. Oh, that looks pretty good. Yeah, that looks really good. Did I do it right? Yes, I did. Okay, let's do the other side. You know, this little catch-all that I got from the Fat Quarter shop over here in my tray. I got to thinking the other day, it is so full. I don't even know what I did with all these things before. Like right now, they're just right in my reach. Even this table that's got all this stuff on it, it's like, what the heck did I do before I had it? That's funny. You get something new, you start using it, and all of a sudden you wonder how you got along without it beforehand. Okay, and then I'm going to iron this. This is what it looks like. Let's back you up a little bit so you can see better. Okay, it looks like that. Or like this, either way. And that's a square and a square. Make a quilt out of that. That'd be nice. That'd be really pretty to make a quilt out of that. All right, so now it says to trim this square down to a 4 5/8 by a 4 5/8. So that's what I'm going to need to do. Let me get my ruler. I am using a 6.5 inch ruler to square this up with. And it said 4 5/8. And let me show you what I'm looking at. Let's see if I can turn this camera around here. Now let me show you the advantage of this ruler. See this area right here? This is a 1/4 inch. Now you know that on this block you need a 1/4 inch. Let's see if I can bring this down a little bit more. All right, so if you want, and you have this ruler now, take it and right here on this point, right there, it's a 1/4 inch. Right here, it's a 1/4 inch. So if that's the case, you know that's a 1/4 inch, you know this is a 1/4, this is what you want to do. Just these two sides. That's what squaring up is. Okay? And I've got it laid exactly. Let me get my rotary cutter. Like that is one. I know my arm's going to be in the way. I hope not. That's number 2. Now we're going to turn it around. I'm going to do that 1/4 inch again. And it said 4 5/8 and 5/8. I'm going with the 1/4 inch. Okay, there's my 1/4 inch. There's my 1/4 inch. And along with that 1/4 inch, I'm trying to, there's a little black, there's a little bitty arrow right here that I'm trying to make sure it's in. So you probably can't see this white. There's a white line here, a black one there, a white one there. So I'm going all the way up, following it along the seam. Same thing here, all the way up. There's my 4th, here's my 4th. So then I'm going to cut that off. Did I cut that off? I didn't quite get off. Let's go a little bit more. There we go. So there you go. Doesn't that look nice? Okay. I took my friction pen and I marked where that, let's see if you can see it right there, up each one of those straight up. All I did was put the ruler down and came right off the tip of that, because that's going to make this a lot easier to see to pin it. So you just go right to that mark. I'm just trying to make this as simple as I can for y'all. I stuck my pin where the mark is at. I flip it over and the cross sewn part is right here. See if you can see that. It goes right across here. So my pin went right in there where the two seams meet, which is correct, because when you stitch this, you want your stitch to come up right where that pin is at. I don't know if y'all can see that or not on there. Let's put a little closer. See where the two seams meet? Let me get my other tool over. So when you put your pin in, you're going to put your pin in right here, and here's the line right here. So the pin goes in right before the line, because you're going to sew above that line. Otherwise you lose your point. Alright, so we're going to do one, then we're going to do the other one, and we'll take a look at it. Let's see, am I going across? Yep, I'm still going. I'm going to just go a little bit. Keeping in mind that you can always go back over it if you have to. You got to go a little closer. You don't have to take the entire thing out. If you go a little closer, if you have to, I'll look and see if I do it on one of these, I'll show you what I'm talking about. Alrighty. It's going to look like that. See, I didn't take my tip off. It's still there. And that's what you want. You want to be able to see your tip. Okay. Let me do the other side. Same thing. Let me back it up here so you can look at it. See if I can do it in here. So I'm looking at my mark that I put on there. Let me turn it this way. Hold on one second. Oh my gosh, this is so much easier to explain. All right, see my mark right there? Okay. I put my, here's my fold. You can see the fold. If you can't see the fold, mark your fold too. Put it right on top of that. I've got it right on top. And I can feel with my hand where that seam is. But you can look too. Just do this and go right down there. I don't know if you can. All right, let's put that in there. Flip it over. There's these. There, right there is the cross seam. See the cross seam? Put it in right before that. That's what I did. It still got it, so no, you don't have to worry about your pin being straight or anything. I mean, this fabric is straight on there. See, it's not going anywhere. And like I said, it's on the bias, so you don't want to pull on it. pin this end. And pin this in over here. Oops. Okay. And then when you sew, you're going to be sewing along here, and you're going to make sure you're above this pin. If your machine is below it, then it's going to end up taking off your tip. You don't want your tip off, okay? Take a look at it. Yep, it's looking good. Let me take this out. See, did I lose it? No, I did not lose it. Let's bring it up to the camera so you can take a look at it. And there's my tip. You can even see the ink there. Let's go a little closer. And then I'm going to show you the back. I want to go just a little bit closer. So I'm not taking anything out. Hopefully I don't go too close. I just went over the top of the other thread is all I did. Let's see. I want to get a little closer. There you go. Okay. So here's an example of what I was talking about before. Let's move you back here so we can put you on this green. It's a lot easier to see it on the green than it is on that white. All right. So what I did was I wanted to make my seam a little closer. So this top one is the first stitch, and I went up. The second row of stitches is the bottom, and that's what made this look closer. See? And that's what I wanted. And that's what I was talking about just a minute ago, that if you went too far away, you can always go a little closer. You can do it the opposite. If you went too close and you went over it, just start about right here, take out all the stitches to there, stop, put your machine here, start sewing, and go all the way past it, and that'll correct it. Now, I don't need to remove any stitches or anything, so I'm going to go ahead over here to the ironing board, and I'm going to open this up and iron it. Then I'll be right back. I'll get the other two sides on there. Now, of course, now when I got done ironing it, I lost my two ends, which is fine. I just redrew it. And I don't believe I have ever seen a video that said to do this. I don't know how they just assume you know where to go with it. I mean, being new, I can't even imagine. I've never tried this kind of square with when I was new at quilting. I wouldn't do anything that was hard. If they couldn't even explain it to me really easy, I couldn't do it. There just was no way. Oops, I went over to the left too much there. There we go. Let's see if I can. And you got a lot of folds here with your fabric. Okay, so there's my spot right there. I want to come above that. Okay. Lay it out flat. I want to pin to the right, so I got a lot of room. Oh, another thing I'm going to tell you about too. Let's see if you can see this. Let me back up the camera a second. Put it down here. It's just another thing I thought about while I was doing this. Okay, so we're looking at here. Let me turn this a little bit here. Okay, so you're on this left-hand corner here. And here, all right, so the edge is right here. And you might have noticed this. Let's put it up a little bit here. So if you take your needle and you go straight down and then you bend it to the left. So I went to the fabric on a pin and bend it to the left. If you do that, you have just pulled your fabric up. Look how much above that white it is. You've wasted this fabric and it's incorrect. Your square will be distorted. So go back down here. Get ready to mark it and come in at an angle, which already your fabric is at. Then when you do it, it goes right on the top of it. And you're not going to lose anything, because that's the way it looks when it's sewed. When it's sewn and it's on the machine, it looks just like this. This is the part that got pinned right there. So you don't have all the excess over the top. I just thought about that while I was pinning it, because when I went to pin it, I went straight down, and that's when I realized you don't want to go straight down. You want to go at an angle. Okay, so let's go ahead and sew that now. Just something else I'm trying to make you aware of. I want to make this as easy as it can be, and then as you learn it, you can teach it to the kids or whoever you're going to help learn to sew. And this is really good for garment sewing too. That'll be down the road. Maybe maybe we'll learn a little bit on how to make a blouse or a skirt. I find that the skirt is the easiest thing to make. Whether you put a zipper in it or not, it's one of the easiest things to make. But anyway, back to this. That's for another video altogether. Another day, another time. Whoops, I went right over that darned old pin and didn't think about it. That's not a good thing. To the edge. Let's hope I get it. Here we go. Let's make sure that looks like I got another stitch I can do. Right. Maybe another one. I'm going to take that out. Okay. Let's take a look at that. See if we need to make any kind of adjustments. Nope, right on the line, which is what I like. Let's back it up. There we go, right here. Nice. All right, let's do this last one. I'm timing this sewing today so I can find out how long it takes to actually make, teaching it, to give y'all an idea. I'm sure some of you don't realize how long it takes to make a video. I mean, I know sometimes they just turn out 15 minutes, 20 minutes. And I haven't had any interruptions today. Sometimes I might have to take my animals to the restroom or take them downstairs just to get them a drink or something. Lainey's the one that does all the talking and lets me know what she needs. He just follows her along. He knows she'll talk for him. And she has. I don't know how she knows what he needs, but she does know. All right, let's take a look at this one. Do we need to do anything? No, that's looking good too. And there it is. So let's go over there and let's iron it. There's what it looks like. Isn't that nice? I'm going to trim this to a 6.5 by 6.5. Here's my 8-inch ruler. So we're going to go to the 1/4 inch. There's my 1/4 inch. That's quite a bit cutting off of there. Oh well. Let's go a little bit bigger if you're worried. Okay, 6 1/4, 6 1/4. Turn it around. Now remember, this time around, let me back you up just a little bit. I mean, lift it up a little bit, I'm sorry. Lift it up a little bit here. Come forward. I don't want to fall off the table. All right, so this is what you're looking at. I put the line here and the line here. That's my 6 1/2. Here's 6 1/2. 6 1/2. There's my quarter. There's my quarter. Take off that. Did I push that down far enough? I didn't think I did. Okay. Goodness gracious. There we go. Let's go a little bit. Okay. That 1/4 of an inch seems like it is a lot. That's it. Let's see here. 6. I think it needs a little bit more trimming on this side right here. Just a skosh. Okay. All right. There we have it. There's the block. I hope you like this video. Give it a thumbs up if you do, and follow me for next week. I hope you learned something. Also, I wanted to tell you, without any stopping, from beginning to end, teaching it, mistakes, taking out the stitches, 51 minutes and 20 seconds to make this video. See you next time.